10 countries with the harshest discipline and laws. 10. North Korea. North Korea is the world's most notorious dictatorship. Everything there needs government approval. Clothing, hairstyles, movies, art. Nothing is left to chance. There's no private property to speak of. All information is strictly controlled by the government. There's no internet available to ordinary citizens. They can be sent to labor camps for any infraction. These sentences are lifelong and often include 3 generations of a family. 9. Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is one of the world's most closed countries. In fact, it's difficult to visit and nearly impossible to leave. The Turkmen leader is very authoritarian. He mandates everything from the color of cars to interior design. Special police units constantly monitor compliance. Arbitrary evictions and asset seizures are common. Turkmen prisons are some of the worst in the world. Political prisoners usually die before their term is up. 8. China. China executes more people than any other country. Many non-violent offenses are punished by death. Ethnic minorities in Xinjiang and Tibet are harassed. They live under constant surveillance. The government regulates social media. Chinese censorship is pervasive, with all communications being monitored. Prominent activists are regularly disappeared. 7. Mauritania. Mauritania's laws permit child labor and human trafficking. Slavery is technically illegal, but is widespread and tolerated. There is no due process and no right to fair trial. The police rely on torture to get confessions. Anyone can be arrested for any perceived wrongdoing. Mauritania regularly shuts down the internet. This is commonly done during protests or elections. 6. Iran. Iran's legal system is likewise Sharia-based. It regulates appearances, family life, music, literature, etc. There's no alcohol in Iran and not much freedom of anything. All relationships are strictly regulated by the government. Corporal punishments for indecency are common. Capital punishment is also frequently used. 5. Afghanistan. The Taliban retook the country in 2021. The new government has introduced plenty of restrictive laws. In 2022, they announced a full implementation of Sharia law. This implies reviewing all files. The Talibs will punish people retroactively. The punishments must be based on an eye for an eye principle. That means amputations, public executions, and flogging. 4. Eritrea. Eritrea has been ruled by the same president since 1993. Religious practices in the country are strictly censored. The government only recognizes 4 specific religious groups. All of them are government-controlled. Travel within the country is restricted. All Eritreans aged 18 to 40 must serve in the military. The service is supposed to last 6.5 years, but it's often prolonged indefinitely. 3. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has Sharia law. That means it practices a strict interpretation of Islam. Alcohol consumption and apostasy are illegal. Flogging and mutilation are common punishments. Atheism, adultery, and witchcraft are punishable by death. The country's workforce is made up of migrant workers. They have no rights and no recourse to the law. 2. Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea is one of the world's poorest countries. The government discourages the people from achieving literacy. There are no newsstands or bookstores. Much of the internet is blocked. All media are government-controlled. Any citizen can be arbitrarily arrested for destabilization. Foreigners aren't allowed to photograph anything. 1. Singapore. You can't feed pigeons or chew gum in Singapore. You can't even walk around your house naked. In fact, Singapore regulates every aspect of life. There are laws about clothes, music, sex, and marriage. Drug offenses can result in capital punishment. Singapore still practices executions for non-violent offenses. Caning is another common penalty. The entire city-state is monitored by surveillance cameras, so any crime is instantly detected by authorities.